Are you tired of reaching the end of every month and feeling your stomach drop? You get paid, you breathe for a second, and then somehow the money disappears. A few bills hit, a few small purchases happen, and suddenly you are counting days until the next paycheck again. That cycle is exhausting, and worse, it makes you feel like you are always behind, even when you are doing your best. But here is the truth. Living paycheck to paycheck is not just about how much you earn. It is also about how your money is organized, how fast it disappears, and whether your system gives you any breathing room at all. Today, I want to show you how to break that cycle in a real way, not with fake motivation, not with extreme poverty mode, not with some impossible budget that falls apart after 3 days. Just a practical system that helps you keep more of what you make, build a small cushion, and start moving forward. Let's fix it. The first step is to understand what is actually happening. Most people think they have a money problem when they really have a visibility problem. Money comes in, money goes out, and by the time they notice, it is too late. So for the next 30 days, you need to do a full money audit. This means tracking every expense, even the small ones: coffee, food delivery, subscriptions, transportation, random online purchases, everything. Do not judge yourself while you do it. Just collect the data. Because once you see where the money is going, you can finally stop guessing. A lot of the time, the problem is not one giant expense. It is the small leaks, the extra snack here, the quick order there, the subscription you forgot about, the just this once purchase that happens every week. When those leaks add up, they quietly keep you stuck. So step 1 is simple. Know your numbers. Write down your monthly income after taxes. Write down your fixed bills. Write down your debt payments. Then write down every variable expense you can find. Once you can see the full picture, you can start making decisions instead of just reacting. Now comes the next part, building a buffer. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, one of the biggest reasons you feel trapped is that you have no room for surprises. One small emergency can ruin your whole month. That is why your first goal is not a huge emergency fund. It is a 1-month shield. Your goal is to save enough money to cover 1 month of basic living expenses. Not luxury, not extras, just the essentials: rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, and minimum debt payments. Why 1 month? Because the moment you are 1 month ahead, everything feels different. You are no longer waiting for Friday's paycheck to cover Thursday's bill. You are no longer making panic decisions because the timing is tight. You get a little space to breathe, and that space changes how you think. You do not need to build this shield overnight. You build it gradually. Start with a small amount every paycheck. Cut 1 or 2 expenses. Redirect anything extra into that buffer. The goal is not perfection. The goal is momentum. And once you have that 1-month shield, the pressure starts to come down. But building a cushion is only half of the solution. The other half is income, because there is a limit to how much you can cut. At some point, you cannot save your way out of a low-income problem. That does not mean budgeting is useless. It means budgeting alone is not enough. If you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck faster, you need to think about an income engine. That might mean asking for a raise. It might mean switching jobs. It might mean learning a new skill. It might mean starting a side hustle. The point is not to work yourself into the ground. The point is to stop depending on one paycheck doing all the work. Even a small increase in income can change your life if you direct it correctly. The key is this: when your income goes up, do not let your lifestyle go up at the same speed. That is how people stay trapped. They earn more, so they spend more. Then they end up in the exact same place. Instead, use extra income to create space. Put more toward savings. Put more toward debt. Put more toward getting ahead. That is how money starts working for you instead of disappearing from you. Now let's talk about debt, because debt is one of the biggest things keeping people stuck. If you have credit card debt or high-interest debt, that should become a top priority. Why? Because debt is not just a bill, it is a drag on your future income. Every month you carry it, you are paying extra just to stay where you are. If you have multiple debts, use the avalanche method. Pay the minimum on everything and put extra money toward the debt with the highest interest rate first. This method is powerful because it saves you the most money mathematically. It may not feel flashy, but it works. And if you are serious about escaping paycheck to paycheck, you need methods that work, not methods that just sound good. Once debt is under control and your 1-month shield is building, the next tool is something called sinking funds. Sinking funds are simply money you save for planned expenses. This matters because a lot of people go back into debt not because of a disaster, but because of something predictable that they did not prepare for. Car repairs, school fees, travel, gift spending, annual subscriptions, medical costs, phone upgrades. If you know the expense is coming, even if you do not know the exact date, you should be saving for it little by little. That way, when the time comes, you do not panic, you just pay for it. That is what sinking funds do. They turn future stress into a manageable plan, and that is one of the biggest mindset shifts in this whole process. You stop seeing every expense as a surprise. You stop using debt as a backup plan. You start preparing like an adult with a system. Now, to make all of this actually work, you need automation. Because if every good decision depends on motivation, the system will eventually break. So set things up to run automatically. If possible, have part of your paycheck go directly into savings, have part go toward debt, have part go to your main spending account. The less you rely on memory, the better. Automation removes emotion from the equation. It keeps you from having to make the same decision every month, and it makes progress happen in the background, even when life gets busy. That is important because paycheck to paycheck living is not just a math problem. It is also a stress problem. When you are always behind, you are always tired, you are always reacting, you are always scared of the next bill. A simple financial system changes that. It gives you more predictability, it gives you more control, it gives you a little more peace. And once you have a little more peace, you make better decisions. That is the real goal, not to become obsessed with money, not to become cheap, not to punish yourself, just to stop feeling trapped. So if you are trying to get out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, here is the simple version. Track every expense for 30 days. Build a 1-month shield. Attack high-interest debt. Create sinking funds for known expenses. Automate your savings and payments. Increase your income when you can. And do not let lifestyle creep eat your progress. That is the system. It is not perfect, but it is realistic. And realistic systems are the ones people actually keep. You do not need to fix your entire financial life in 1 week. You just need to create a little breathing room, then build from there. That is how the cycle ends. Not with a miracle, not with luck, but with structure. So start small, stay consistent, and build the gap between your income and your expenses one step at a time. Because once you stop living paycheck to paycheck, you stop living in survival mode, and that changes everything.